Economics, Standard 12, Unit 10, Environmental Economics. Environmental problems are really social problems. They begin with the people as the cause and end with people as victims, says Sir Edmund Hillary. People are the cause for the environmental economics, and that is what we call it as environmental problems. And they are the end, that is, they become the victims of the environmental problems. Environmental economics is the study of interactions between human economic activity and the natural environment. Environmental economics is the subset of economics that is concerned with the efficient allocation of environmental resources. The environment provides both a direct value as well as raw material intended for economic activity, thus making the environment and the economy interdependent. The economy and environment are interdependent. Environmental economics takes into consideration issues such as the conservation and valuation of natural resources, pollution control, waste management, recycling, and so on. Since resources, whether human, natural, or monetary, are finite, these public policies are most effective only when they achieve the maximum possible benefit in the most efficient way. The key objectives of environmental economics is to identify those particular tools or policy alternatives that will move the market towards the most efficient allocation of natural resources. What is environment? You know, the term environment has been derived from a French word environnement. So environment is derived from a French word environnement. Which means to surround. So environment means to surround. To surround. So it's a French word. An environment means all the conditions, circumstances, and influences surrounding and affecting the development of an organism or group of organisms. It also means that the complex of physical, chemical, and biotic factors that act upon an organism or an ecological community ultimately determine its form and survival. Then what is environmental economics? So environmental economics and we already learned economics or economy and environment are interlinked each other. So it's a different branch of economics that recognize the value of both the environment and economic activity and makes choices based on those values. The goal is to balance the economic activity and the environmental impacts by taking into account all the costs and benefits. In short, environmental economics is an area of economics that studies the financial impact of environmental issues and policies. Environmental economics involves theoretical and empirical studies of the economic effects of national or local environmental policies around the world. So, environmental economics involves theoretical and empirical studies of the economic effects of national or local environmental policies around the world. Ecosystem. An ecosystem includes all living things, plants, animals, and organisms in a given area, interacting with each other and also with their non-living environments, weather, climate, sun, earth, soil, and atmosphere, and so on. Ecosystems are the foundations of the biosphere, and they determine the health of the entire earth system. So, ecosystem consists of two things, living and non-living. So, living and non-living things. Living things. So, other living things, plants and animals and organisms. Plants, animals, and organisms. And non-living things. Non-living things. So, under non-living things, soil, weather, earth, sun, atmosphere, and so on. Atmosphere. So, living things that which is just within the particular area, in a given area, interacting with each other and also with their non-living things, environments like weather, earth, sun, soil, climate, atmosphere. Ecosystems are the foundations of the biosphere and they determine the health of the entire earth system. And the ecosystem of you are 1. Resources, 2. Wellness, 3. Spaces, 4. Value, 5. Mobility, and 6. Leisure, 7. Community, 8. Maker, and 9. Growth. There is a linkage between economy and environment. Man's life is interconnected with various other living and non-living things. The life also depends on social, political, ethical, philosophical, and other aspects of economic system. In fact, the life of human beings is shaped by his living environment. The relationship between the economy and the environment is very, very important, and it's generally explained in the form of a material balance model developed by Alan Nees and R.B. Ayers. The model considers the total economic process as a physically balanced flow between inputs and outputs. Inputs are bestowed with physical property of energy which is received from the environment. The interdependence of economics and environment is given in the diagram. In the figure, you can see this environmental quality, size of GDP, and abatement cost. So the interdependence of environment and economy is just clearly seen in this figure. The first law of thermodynamics, that is, the law of conservation of matter and energy, emphasizes that in any production system, what goes in must come out. What goes in must come out. This is known as the material balance approach or material balance principle. The material flow diagram implies that mass inputs must equal mass outputs for every process. Moreover, all resources extracted from the environment eventually become unwanted waste and pollutants. Production of output by firms from inputs resulting in discharge of solid, liquid and gaseous waste. Similarly, waste results from consumption activities by households. In short, material and energy are drawn from environment, used for production and consumption activities and returned back to the environment as waste. We'll continue this lesson in the next class. Thank you for listening.